Good morning, boys and girls. So I am back with your activities for today for our story, 21 Elephants and Still Standing. Okay, I'm going to keep myself out of the camera as much as I can so I can keep the camera pretty close to this anchor chart so you can see it better. Okay, so yesterday we read the story, 21 Elephants and Still Standing. And so that was a really awesome story about the Brooklyn Bridge that was built. Okay, and the Brooklyn Bridge was a giant, wondrous bridge that was built that connected two cities. So it connected the city of Brooklyn and the city of New York. Okay, and it was this new giant bridge that people had never seen before. Okay, it was one of the very first ones that was that big and that stretched that far. So people were kind of nervous about crossing it and about standing on it and worried about how much weight that the bridge could stand. And they were worried that if the wind blew, remember they said, would the wind make the bridge dance? So would it make the bridge sway and kind of get rocky and unsteady? Okay, so all of these people were so nervous about this bridge, but this bridge was a really great thing because it was going to allow people to do a lot more things. Okay, it was going to make it easier for them to travel from city to city, but they just didn't know about it. They were nervous about it. So this entertainer, this circus man named Phineas T. Barnum wasn't scared at all. So he took his elephants, 21 elephants, and he made them cross that Brooklyn Bridge. Okay, and the one at the very end, remember, named Jumbo, he was 7 tons. Okay, so a 7-ton elephant was able to cross that bridge, and the bridge still stood and it was still strong. And that kind of proved to people that the bridge was strong enough to be traveled on, right? Okay, so there was a cause and effect in this story. There were a lot of causes and effects in this story. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, and that's what we're going to do one of our activities on. Okay, so if we talk about cause and effect, let's talk about cause first. Okay, so a cause is what made it happen. So what made something happen or why something happens. Okay, so what made something happen or why something happens. Okay, and the effect is the result or outcome of what happened, or what happens because something else happens. Okay, so what happens because something else happens? The result or the outcome because something else happened. Okay, so usually when we talk about cause and effect, when we say it out loud, we usually say, because this happened, then this happened. Okay, so you know which one is the cause because you say because. Okay, so if I were to say, because I worked 20 hours at the ice cream shop, I made $20. So the cause was I worked 20 hours at the ice cream shop, and the effect was I made some money. Okay? So I have an example right here. I used Joseph as my example. So because Joseph did not feel well this morning, he went to the doctor for some medicine. Okay, so our cause, what made it happen or why something happens, our cause, Joseph did not feel well this morning. So because he did not feel well this morning, he went to the doctor for some medicine. So the result or the outcome of Joseph not feeling well was that he went to the doctor for some medicine. Okay, so there is a cause and effect in every story that we read. And sometimes there's lots of causes and effects in the stories that we read. Okay, so one of the examples that I wrote for our story, 21 Elephants, is down here. Okay, so we're going to talk about it. Yesterday, on the very beginning page, it talks about how this wondrous bridge is being made. Okay, so on this very first page, for 14 years, they'd watched it rise. The city's school teachers, bankers, cabinet makers, pointing and gawking, oohing and awing, cheering as the great pillars grew. So it took them 14 years to make this giant, wondrous bridge. And everybody, while it's being made, was just standing there staring and kind of marveling at this big bridge that was being built. Then came woven steel cables, strung graceful and strong, like stairways straight to the stars. Okay, so in the story, we have this great big, marvelous bridge being built that is going to connect these two cities. Okay, it's going to make it a lot easier for travel and for people to go between the two cities and go see different sites that maybe they haven't seen before. Okay, so for my cause, I put that the Brooklyn Bridge was built. Okay, that was what made something else happen. Okay, that's our cause. Okay, our effect, if we read on this page, okay, so the Brooklyn Bridge has been built. You can see it right here. It goes across this big old body of water and it's connecting these two cities. Okay, so for the two sister cities, there was a special excitement. They were linked by a magnificent bond. Now over the river, not on its swift current. So now they could go over the river, not have to ride on the river and through the river on a boat. They could visit, do business, see sights. Sweethearts could take moonlit strolls. Okay, so as one of my examples for cause and effect for this story, I put our cause was the Brooklyn Bridge was built. Okay, so that was something that made something else happen. So that was why something happened or what made something else happen. Okay, so the Brooklyn Bridge was built. So because the Brooklyn Bridge was built, our effect was that people could visit other cities, they could do business, they could see sights that they had never seen before, and sweethearts could take moonlit strolls. Okay, so they could take these moonlit strolls across the bridge and see new things they had never seen before. Okay, so that is one example from our story of cause and effect. So because the Brooklyn Bridge was built, everybody could do all these things. They could visit other cities, do business, see sights and great views, and they could take moonlit strolls with their sweethearts. Okay, so that's just one example of the many causes and effects in our story. So what you are going to see after you watch this video is there is a worksheet, okay, that has two examples of a cause from this story, and it wants you to write the effect. Okay, it wants you to write the effect, but I also want you to write 3 more. Okay, so do the 2 on the worksheet, okay, and then on your own do 3 more. Okay, so what I would do is first I would do, and you won't be able to pull up the worksheet and actually type on it. So just use the worksheet as an example and do it on your own sheet of paper, okay? So go ahead and take out a blank sheet of paper, and I want you to write the 2 causes that are on the worksheet that I'm posting, and then write the effects. Okay, and then after you do those 2, I want you to come up with 3 more on your own. So 3 more causes and 3 more effects. Okay, I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, just post a comment and ask me a question if you're confused about anything. Okay, so what I would do is I would go back to my video from yesterday and I would listen to me read the story again. And as I am reading, I would try to write down the causes and effects in the story. Okay, it'll be easier to write them down if you're listening to me read the story. Okay, so first do the 2 on the worksheet that I'm going to post on Google Classroom, and then add 3 more on your own piece of paper. Then when you are finished, take a picture of it and post it in Google Classroom. Okay, or you can post it in the comments if you can't take a picture of it. Okay. If you have any questions, just let me know. I can't wait to see the causes and effects that you come up with. Just make sure that your cause is always the first thing that happened. Okay, so this wouldn't be our cause. They could visit and do all these things. That wouldn't be our cause. That's what happened because the Brooklyn Bridge was built. Okay, so your cause is always the first thing that happened. Your effect is the result or the outcome of what happened next. Okay? Can't wait to see what you guys come up with and how well you do, and I will see you tomorrow.